the most influential Bitcoin and crypto politician. Give this man a round of applause to get this started for us. Nigel, thank you for joining us here.
Nigel Farage is being investigated over a £5 million donation from the Thailand-based crypto billionaire and Reform's largest donor, Christopher Harbour.
So, Mr. Farage, how much of that money have you spent?
It's literally none of your business.
But it turns out Christopher Harbour isn't the only crypto businessman bankrolling Nigel Farage.
We are Insight, the Sunday Times investigation team, and for the past few months, we've been investigating this man, George Cottrell, a British aristocrat known as Posh George.
He's not just a crypto gambler, he's a convicted criminal too.
You probably haven't noticed him before, but if you look closely, he's everywhere.
Like the day of the Brexit referendum back in 2016. There's George.
Or when Farage had a milkshake thrown at him in Clacton-on-Sea. There he is again. Cottrell is pretty much always by Farage's side.
Officially speaking, he doesn't work for Farage or Reform, but our investigation reveals he's indispensable to the man who may become Prime Minister.
He provides him with political counsel and emotional support, but above all, money.
The member for Clacton has described a gentleman, George Cottrell, as like a son to him, despite the fact that that individual is a convicted money launderer. What does she make of the potential connection between money laundering and cryptocurrency?
I think it's extremely concerning, and that's why we would ban cryptocurrency donations.
But how exactly did a criminal become Nigel Farage's right-hand man?
Fellow Americans, I humbly accept your nomination for the presidency of the United States.
This story begins in July 2016. Nigel Farage is in the audience when Donald Trump announces his presidential nomination in Cleveland, Ohio.
He's riding high as he's just pulled off one of the biggest coups of his career by playing a pivotal role in Brexit.
Dare to dream that the dawn is breaking on an independent, united kingdom.
The next day is transiting through Chicago on his way back to London. But as he steps off the plane, a team of armed federal agents are waiting.
For a moment, they look like they're there for Farage. Instead, they arrest the man next to him, who at the time was his party's deputy treasurer, George Cottrell.
He is charged with 21 counts of money laundering, fraud, blackmail, and extortion.
The charges date back to 2014, when drug traffickers see an anonymous advert on the dark web offering money laundering services.
They head to a Las Vegas hotel to meet the man behind it, who turns up, none other than Posh George.
The men ask him to launder up to $150,000 of drug money a month. Posh George agrees to help, requesting they send an initial $20,000 to an associate in Colorado, who will convert the cash into Bitcoin and then return the laundered money back to them.
But when the drug traffickers send the money, Posh George doesn't return the 20k. Instead, he holds them ransom, demanding they pay 80k's worth of Bitcoin and threatening to turn them into the US authorities if they don't.
Unfortunately for him, the drug dealers are the US authorities. Posh George has unknowingly been caught up in an undercover sting called Operation Avalanche.
After he's denied bail and spends time in custody, George agrees to cooperate. He pleads guilty to a single charge of wire fraud and is released after 8 months. When asked about his friendship with the criminal, Farage shrugs it off.
I can't be responsible for what everyone around me does.
Maximum security prison in Chicago was a far cry from George's privileged upbringing. He was raised in Mystique, a private island in the Caribbean beloved of billionaires and royalty. He later attended Malvern College, an elite boarding school in the Worcestershire countryside, but he was expelled in 2010.
His mother, Fiona Watson, is an aristocrat who briefly dated Prince Charles in her early 20s. The match was killed, however, when her nude photo shoot in the men's magazine Penthouse was unearthed by the palace. She would go on to be one of Reform's largest donors.
His father, Mark Cottrell, was equally well connected, attending boarding school at Gordonston in Scotland alongside Prince Andrew. He was described as a Gatsby-esque figure and the source of his wealth a mystery.
George had left prison vowing to rebuild his life. He even claimed he would do charity work. Things play out rather differently.
In late 2019, he goes to Montenegro. In Tivat, on the Adriatic Sea, he lives a lavish lifestyle, driving a £300,000 Lamborghini, staying in the penthouse of a 5-star hotel, and flying out his friend Farage for a polo tournament.
But he's not there on holiday. He embeds himself within the country's political elite and uses a complex web of companies that obscures his involvement in various ventures.
One of these enterprises is a gambling website called tethered.bet. The platform, which cannot operate in the UK, allows people to place huge bets on sports games and politics. It only accepts Tether, a cryptocurrency that is part-owned by Christopher Harborne, Reform's largest donor and the crypto billionaire behind the £5 million donation.
It was a £5 million donation from a...
Not donation, no, gift.
Gift from...
Very different.
From Mr. Christopher Harborne. Well, it's being investigated by the parliamentary authorities because they're worrying that it was a donation which you should have declared.
It's not a donation.
Our investigation found that in the run-up to the 2024 general election, George started bankrolling his old friend Nigel Farage and helping him with, well, everything, from recruiting Farage's staff, as well as allowing Farage to stay at a 5-storey house near Buckingham Palace. None of this was declared in an apparent breach of parliamentary rules.
He also paid for a young right-wing activist to run and reinvent Farage's social media. The content was short, snappy, and designed to go viral. It mixed humour with his uncompromising politics on migration and political correctness.
Look at the images. The lack of professionalism.
This helped Farage become the most followed politician in the UK and finally win him a seat on the 8th time of asking as MP for Clacton. It also gave him a unique ability to shape the political conversation within the country, giving him a reach and audience well beyond his usual base. Again, none of this was declared.
Cottrell's money has meant power for Farage. And this is exactly why it's so problematic for the Reform leader. Farage is likely to face renewed questions of his compliance with the rules, but also about his judgment.
We unravel the relationship between the two men in our newest podcast series, Posh George, the criminal behind Farage.
Listen now wherever you get your podcast or read our written piece on thetimes.com.